He had the smile of a movie star, the voice of a gentleman, and the mind of a monster. Ted Bundy wasn't just a killer, he was a mirror held up to America's darkest fears. Behind the charm, the intelligence, and the disarming good looks, hid a predator who would haunt the 20th century. Born on November 24, 1946, in Burlington, Vermont, Theodore Robert Bundy began life wrapped in a lie. He was raised believing his grandparents were his parents and his mother, his sister. His true parentage, shrouded in secrecy, fueled an identity crisis that would later evolve into something far more sinister. A shy boy, often bullied, Bundy struggled with isolation. His relationship with his stepfather was cold, distant. But under the surface, something else was growing. Something dark. By the time he reached college, Bundy had transformed. Intelligent, charismatic, politically active, he could command a room with a smile. To the outside world, he was the perfect gentleman. But that was just a mask. Between 1974 and 1978, a wave of disappearances swept across Washington, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, and later Florida. Young women, often college students, vanished without a trace. Ted Bundy had perfected his act. Fake injuries, charming small talk, even impersonating authority figures. He lured his victims with ease, and when they followed him, they walked into their own nightmares. He confessed to killing 28 women, but investigators believe the real number may be in the hundreds. The terrifying part? While police scrambled for clues, Bundy continued to attend law school. He had girlfriends. He smiled for the camera. He even worked at a suicide hotline. Evil wore a friendly face. In 1977, Bundy pulled off the unthinkable, not once, but twice. He escaped custody in Colorado, first jumping from a second-story window, then slipping through a ceiling panel and walking out the front door of a jail. His final rampage came in Florida, where he broke into the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University. 2 young women were murdered in their sleep. Days later, he raped and killed a 12-year-old girl, his youngest known victim. Bundy was finally caught, exhausted and desperate, in a stolen car. His luck had run out, but the spectacle was only beginning. Bundy's trial became a media circus. America couldn't look away. Here was a man accused of unspeakable horrors, yet he represented himself in court, spoke eloquently, and smiled like a game show host. The courtroom became a stage. Women wrote him love letters. Crowds gathered outside, cheering him on. It was surreal. In 1979, Bundy was convicted of the murders of 2 FSU students. A year later, he was sentenced again for the rape and murder of 12-year-old Kimberly Leach, 3 death sentences. The show was over. On January 24, 1989, after a decade on death row, Ted Bundy was executed in Florida's electric chair. Outside the prison, a crowd erupted into cheers. Fireworks lit up the sky. But the legacy of Ted Bundy lingers. He changed the way America saw evil. He forced the FBI to rethink how it profiles killers. And he exposed how easily charm can camouflage terror. His case inspired books, films, debates, and a generation of feminist criminologists who criticized the media for turning a killer into a star. Ted Bundy wasn't a monster from the shadows. He was a monster who looked like the boy next door. And perhaps that's what made him the most terrifying of all. This was the story of Ted Bundy, the charming face of evil. You've been watching Shadow Time History. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Before the lights go out,